Hello and welcome to another episode of Pages for All Ages. I'm Leah Godwin and Nitsa is not able to be with us tonight.
I'm here!
Oh my goodness, she is here.
I made it. I've got all our shark stuff. Got my shark shirt, got my shark plushies, got my shark bag, got my shark socks, got my shark book. I love sharks.
That's a lot, Nitsa.
Is it too much?
Well, maybe not, but it's not Shark Week like it is on cable.
Every week is Shark Week for me. I love sharks. I'm obsessed. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay,
I'm ready.
I guess we need to get started as soon as you get settled in.
So sorry. My first book is Misunderstood Shark by Amy Dyckman. This is on the 2x2 list. The 2x2 list is a list of books for students in grades pre-K through second grade. In this book, Bob is a jellyfish and he is the host of the show Underwater World. Bob's special guest is Shark. In this fun book, we're going to learn fun facts about sharks. But Shark has some issues. Bob has to stop Shark from eating a fish since people can see him. And Shark says, no, you misunderstood. I wasn't going to eat him. I was just going to show him my new tooth. And then Bob, the host, proceeds to share fun facts about shark teeth. And Shark then helps a seal find her family. He also brings boo-boo strips to a bleeding swimmer. Bob, being the good host that he is, shares fun facts about Shark's favorite food and how sharks can smell blood. Octopus teaches us that the ocean gets its saltiness from the tears of misunderstood sharks. Yeah. And we also learn that squids have 3 hearts. The illustrations are fantastic, they are bright, they are adorable, and the really good news is that there is a second book in this series that you have.
And Nitsa, I just happen to have the second book, Misunderstood Shark. I didn't know we were going to go this far, or I would have worn a shark shirt myself. But
I'm a little extra.
I do want to tell you about Misunderstood Shark, Friends Don't Eat Friends by Amy Dyckman, illustrated by Scott Magoon. This is, as Nitsa said, the second book. At the end of the first book, Shark swallows Bob. Shark says he can hear Bob, but he can't see him. They argue back and forth, and he expels Bob rather than digest him. They are continuing with the show, The Underwater World with Bob, but Shark and Bob are arguing about where Bob has been and that Shark ate him. The squids are concerned because Bob is off script. Shark said he didn't eat Bob, he just gave him a tour so he could see his bones. But fun fact, sharks don't have bones, they have cartilage. The squishy stuff in a human nose. One of the squids says, "Boogers?" Shark wants Bob to provide proof that he ate him. Shark begins to feel sick and expels Bob's glasses. Gross fact. It is called gastric eversion. If he swallows something he cannot digest, the shark expels his stomach out of his mouth and ejects the object and then sucks his stomach back into place. Later, Shark gives Bob a ticket for littering. Also, he has an encounter with a starfish, and they go to the man cave, man-eater. Starfish loses an arm, and it just continues from there. The illustrations are fun and colorful, and the interactions with all the sea creatures, hilarious.
I just love sharks. I'm obsessed with sharks. Like I said, Jaws is my favorite movie. I've probably watched it well over 100 times. So to see a fun book teaching kids about sharks and the really fun facts, because sharks are being killed by the millions every year. So
yes. And maybe my shark book should be over there with you. They are kind of in the same company.
I love them. My second book is Click by Kayla Miller. This is a graphic novel. It is appropriate for students in grades 5 through 7. In this book, Olive is a 5th grader. She has lots of friends, like with the jocks and the cheerleaders and some magicians. She's friends with everyone. And now it's time for the 5th grade variety show. All of her friends have paired up for an act, but Olive is left alone. Olive is sad, and she wants her friends to ask her to join one of their groups. Olive's aunt Molly invites her over for a sleepover. Molly has a bunch of old variety shows for them to watch to help Olive get inspired. Olive gets inspired by the host. Will her teacher allow her to host? Her mom isn't too keen on the idea and is worried Olive will be all alone. I love this book. I love graphic novels. This is really teaching kids how to find their own way, kids who aren't in a clique, or for those kids who don't click with other kids. There is a second book in the series coming out. It's called Camp, and it is coming out on April 23rd, and I will definitely be picking it up.
Nita, I have a question about the little squares that each panel is in for. What is that called? Ooh. I don't remember. I know that we were taught that.
Called a gutter? You know what? I was thinking about maybe asking Parna Bissell. Remember how Parna came and presented to us about graphic novels? Because graphic novels aren't just, you know, people think they're just not real literature, and they are very complex, and they do a lot of inferencing. So I was thinking maybe talking to her about having her come out to really, for those teachers or those parents who don't like their kids reading graphic novels. But
graphic novels are very sophisticated.
They are very sophisticated.
I was just at a loss for what that was called, but it would be great if we could have Parna come sometime.
I think it's called The Gutter. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But I do love graphic novels.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I know you love graphic novels.
I do.
I am not that well read in graphic novels.
But you will be.
I will be.
You will be.
I'm going to start. Alien Alert by David Biedrzycki. Story told in the form of a breaking newscast. The bear family from Bear Alert and other forest animals and domestic animals are abducted by what appears to be an alien ship. The media is in a frenzy. Eyewitness interviews are hilarious as scouts, scientists, street vendors, and even the mayor try to spin the story for their own means. Bumbling reporter Chad Newsworthy, yes, that is a foil hat on his head, covers it all, searching for the truth behind the abduction. All the animals are returned home with goodie bags? Why? Could it have been someone's birthday? I'll show you the pictures in the flyleaf. It looks like a little alien had a birthday. These are familiar characters from Bear Alert and Bear Rescue by the same author, and it is a great follow-up to those books. This is a great book to introduce graphic novel format to little readers before graduating them to more sophisticated graphic novels with multiple panes. Great book, a lot of fun, hilarious interviews.
You have me sold on that one. I love that. All right, my next book is All Summer Long by Hope Larson. It is another graphic novel because I do love them. It is appropriate for students in grades 6 through 8. Bina and Austin have been best friends since they were babies, and it is now the last day of their 7th grade year. Bina is excited about spending the summer vacation with Austin, but Austin tells her that he has to go away to camp for a month. Bina is upset that Austin is ignoring her texts while he is away, but he has enough time to post pics of soccer camp on his Filtergram. Bina does become friends with Austin's older sister, and then she feels used by her. Bina takes comfort in music. She loves to play guitar. She likes to write lyrics. And then Austin returns, and things are a little different between them two. This book is a coming of age, being yourself, and all the challenges of becoming a teenager. I love this book. It was just sweet. It really was about becoming a teenager and how friendships change, and although they are still best friends, things are just a little bit different, and he does get a girlfriend, and that's why he wasn't texting her back and all that stuff. But it is a great book, and not being dependent on someone else, learning about yourself, and going to things that you love. Another fantastic book, but I will say it's more for 6th graders and up.
Another graphic novel.
No, I've
got to get caught up on that. El Chupacabras by Adam Rubin, illustrated by Crash McCreery. This book is on the 2019-2020 Bluebonnet nominee list. It is a bilingual tale of the legendary creature El Chupacabras. Text for each sentence either begins in English and then ends in Spanish, or vice versa. It'll begin in Spanish and end in English. And once you've read this book for a while, it plays a little bit of a trick on your mind and convinces you that, yes, you can read in Spanish and you do understand, because it's almost, it just tricks you a little bit. The illustrations are very comical. I love the one of the goat that is turned into a pancake, because El Chupacabra means goat sucker. So he sucked the life out of the goat And here he is left flat as a pancake, and here is the farmer trying to find out what is going on. I love the little Chupacabra. He is precious. He looks like such a tiny little gentleman. You know, he's sitting there having his hot chocolate and churro and enjoying it, and he just looks so innocent and sweet. This is a very cute tale. I think the illustrator outdid himself with faces and everything else. Cute, all the goats are so afraid of this tiny thing, El Chupacabras. Look for it on your bluebonnet list.
I believe the El Chupacabra originated in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
I'm Puerto Rican, I should know this. But from what I understand, it originated in Puerto Rico. Yeah, could be wrong.
I know it's a legend, so kind of interesting to find this book.
All right, my next book is A Stone for Sascha by Aaron Becker. Aaron Becker is a previous Caldecott winner. He won a Caldecott for his book, I think it was Journey? Was it Journey? His first book in that trilogy?
I think so.
Journey, Quest, and if you have not read an Aaron Becker book, they're fantastic. And they are wordless books. But this one, A Stone for Sascha, opens up with a framed picture of a girl holding her dog. Next, you see the family burying her beloved pet. The family leaves on a summer vacation to the beach, where we see the little girl gathering stones and then throwing one of the stones into the ocean. The scene then changes to a meteor hitting the earth during the age of dinosaurs, and a yellow rock is coming forth from the earth. It then becomes mined by an ancient civilization. We watch this yellow rock change over the centuries and how it is used, how it changes. It eventually falls to the bottom of the ocean, where it is smoothed into a round stone, where it is eventually found by our little girl in this book. This book is remarkable. It ends with the stone found on top of the dog's grave. Another winner by Aaron Becker. If you have not seen any of his books, I just highly recommend them. His illustrations are just stunning. I never miss a book by Aaron Becker. I just love it, but it is a little bit of a tearjerker. So I suggest a little mascara alert for you with that beloved pet of hers.
The Boo-Boos That Changed the World, a true story about an accidental invention, really, by Barry Wittenstein, illustrated by Chris Hugh. This is on the 2019-2020 Bluebonnet nominee list. Once upon a time, in 1917 actually, a cotton buyer named Earl Dixon married his beloved Josephine, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, not really. That's what the first page says. The newlyweds lived in New Brunswick, New York. They changed the world one boo-boo at a time. Josephine was very accident prone and often was injuring herself in the kitchen. She would make lovely dinners, but would be cut up, bruised, bumped, and scraped. Earl decided to help by fashioning a bandage with cotton and tape, but this was not waterproof and was time-consuming to make. Later, they came up with the Band-Aid. Band-Aids were handmade and first marketed in 1920 by Johnson & Johnson. There's an author's note in the back. There's an Earl Dixon timeline. And in 1950, Dr. Dan, the Bandage Man, was a little golden book about a boy who needs a Band-Aid, and the book originally came with 6 Band-Aids. That book is still in print today, minus the Band-Aids. Other medical inventions from the 20s and 30s are listed in the back. Insulin first used for diabetes, vaccines for tuberculosis, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, which is known as whooping cough, yellow fever, typhus, and blood banks were established in the 30s. This is a great book to talk about how the necessity is definitely the mother of invention. They talk about how the Band-Aid has changed and how it became waterproof, and how at first it was just a regular brown little Band-Aid, and now it has so many designs and pictures. So, the Boo-Boos That Changed the World.
I'm just going to do a shameless plug here for our summer professional development that we're doing.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing one, we both are going to be doing it together, but the Bluebonnet books and how to use them in the classroom, and the 2x2 list on how to use them in the classroom. So look that up during
Summer Impact, I think is what they're calling
Summer
it.
Impact.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so look that up for Summer Impact. So because we're doing it again. It was a big hit last year. My next book is The Adventures of a Girl Called Bicycle. This book is written by Christina S. It is a Bluebonnet book, a 2019 Bluebonnet book. It is appropriate for students in grades 4 through 6. Bicycle was a little girl found on the steps of a mostly silent monastery by Sister Wanda. Sister Wanda homeschools her, and Bicycle is more comfortable around bikes, books, and the monks at the monastery. Making friends is not Bicycle's strong suit. Sister Wanda is becoming concerned with Bicycle and her lack of friends and signs Bicycle up for a camp called the Friendship Factory. Bicycle does not want to go to the Friendship Factory, and here is where Bicycle's adventures begin. She runs away while on the way to the camp and plans on going cross-country to San Francisco to meet her idol, Zb. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, where she hopes to befriend him and prove to Sister Wanda that she is capable of making her friends on her own. She has it all planned out. This book is just plain fun. There's a ghost named Griffin that tags along and haunts Bicycle's bicycle. She meets some really fantastic, sweet, and quirky people along the way. She's obsessed with the Tour de France, and they mention that here in this book. And you can follow and track Bicycle on her way from Washington, D.C. to Virginia to Kentucky, and just track her on a map. But it's really a great book. I just loved it. It was funny. It was quirky. It just had everything it needed in it. Great read aloud.
Oh, wonderful.
For in the classroom.
Wonderful. I'm a little late to the party on this book, The Benefits of Being an Octopus by Braden. This is about 7th grade Zoe. She is super busy taking care of her younger siblings, Bryce, who is 4, Aurora, 3, and baby Hector. She takes care of them while her mother works at the pizza place. She thinks that they are so lucky to no longer be homeless and to live with Mom's boyfriend, Lenny, in his nice, clean trailer. In school, Zoe just tries to survive and be unnoticed by the other kids, especially the rich ones. She has a best friend named Fuchsia, but she has her own problems. And there is a rift between Fuchsia's mother, Crystal, and Zoe's mom, so she doesn't get to see her outside of school much. Zoe wishes she could be an octopus so she could use her 8 arms to take care of her siblings and use camouflage and visual ability of the octopus. These would be powerful protective defenses for her. She knows a lot about octopuses because of a DVD she got from the free shelf at the library, and she's seen it so many times she's memorized it. She's given a lot of chances by her teacher, Mrs. Rochambeau, and is forced by her teacher to join the debate club because the teacher believes that even though she doesn't talk much, she has a lot to say. Through debate club, Zoe begins to see things in a different way and realizes that she must help her mother and her family leave Lenny and make it on her own. This book really spoke to me about how children are dealing with poverty and how they deal with homelessness. Also, they talk about gun legislation in here because it's one of the topics for their debate. And they also talk about any kind of abuse is still abuse, even though it's not hitting. If it's verbal, if it's trying to make someone look stupid, it is still abuse. And so this is a great book. I think every teacher should read it. And I will tell you this, I watched kids today and thought, she might be a Zoe. You know, you just kind of can fit some kids into these. Yes. Or she could be a Fuchsia. So, great book, wonderful read, and I'm passing it to you because I know you'll want to read it.
Well, I think we forget sometimes that our kids come to us with a lot going on at home.
With a lot of baggage,
and
yes.
They need, sometimes school is a place for them to feel safe, and they have other things they have to worry about, you know, getting that meal or.
And I think the teacher in that book really helped her because she pushed her to be part of the debate team.
Out of her comfort zone,
and to make sure that she let her voice be heard.
Okay, yeah, I'll be listening to that book. All right, my next book is The Color Monster, a story about emotions. It is written by Llenas. It is coming from us, I think from Spain. It was a Spanish book first. It is appropriate for pre-K through 2nd grade. In this book, Monster wakes up confused. He has all the colors of the rainbow on him. And there's this little girl who helps him sort his emotions and puts each color into a jar. She explains how blue is sadness, it is lonely like a rainy day. How red is anger, it burns like a fire, and it is hard to stamp out. Great book to add to any collection, a home collection, a classroom collection, a library collection, to help students deal with their overwhelming emotions. I loved the illustrations in this book. The illustrations just pop off the page since Llenas uses paper and cardboard. And then like she cuts them out and then makes the illustrations out of them. It is nice. This is a really great book dealing with emotions. Loved it. Let me just go ahead and show you. And so here's the color red. They also show the color green. I'm hoping it shows up on camera, the paper, and then how she just cuts it out and then adds it for the illustrations. It's just really smartly done, and it is really beautiful. I just love how it just pops off the page. Just loved it.
Love that. Very colorful. My last book is Strongheart, Wonder Dog of the Silver Screen by Candace Fleming, illustrated by Caldecott medalist Rohmann. This story is based on true events, but it just skims along some true events. Some of the dates are the same, and there was truly a dog in the 1920s named Strongheart. He was owned by director Larry Trimble and screenwriter Jane Murfin. They were searching for a dog that would be a great screen sensation and actor. They found a 3-year-old German police dog in Berlin named Edsel. They brought him home and changed his name to Strongheart and began teaching him how to play and work on acting on command because he had only been a police dog. He was in many movies that Jane wrote the screenplays for and Larry directed. Strongheart maintained some of his police dog aggressiveness, which caused him to often follow pickpockets and embezzlers and various criminals on the street, and he would try to attack. This landed him in trouble because he was accused of attacking a 6-year-old girl named Sophie Bedard. The case never went to trial because the lawyers discovered that the girl's family was trying to extort money from the owners by forcing charges and the accusation. This is a fun dog story to read. It has lovely charcoal illustrations that are really great. There is a list of movies that he was in the back of the book. And also there are some real photographs of the dog and some publicity shots. And I tell you what, Strongheart was a beautiful German Shepherd. Great book to read, fun to read a book about a dog that became a movie star. So if you get a chance, try to read Strongheart.
I love books about animals.
It's a great book.
I just love that.
It was at the book fair, actually, so.
All right. Well, Leah, a little bird told me you had a birthday yesterday.
I did. I had a birthday yesterday.
Well, my friend, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. So it's Unicorn Day now, after having Shark Day.
Yes.
How fun.
I want to wish you a very happy birthday. So does Spence, so does Mackenzie. All of us here want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you so
and how
much.
much we love you. I just love working with you and being a librarian with you and going on this fun Pages for All Ages adventure with you. You have just been a delight. So happy birthday, my friend.
Well, the same right back at you. Thank you so much.
My
I've
pleasure.
enjoyed this so much. You're going to make me cry. It's going to be a mascara
Didn't need to do
alert.
that. So we are going to go and enjoy some cake, but we want to thank you for joining us here on Pages for All Ages, and we will see you next time.
Bye.